Not a one-time state champion, not a two-time state champion, but a three-time state champion. Our guest here today, representing Simon Kenton High School, is a three-time state champion. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
Brad Cooper.
And, of course, class of 2003, the best graduating high school class in the history of the world. That's because I graduated that year, so Brad did as well. And I always like to give a little rep to the class of 03. So the 01 video, of course, is on the channel. The 02 video is on the channel of yours. Your freshman campaign, the memorial video for Jason Davio, that finals match is on there. Rest in peace to Davio. So, man, all 4 years of your high school career, you were in the state finals. We're going to talk a little bit about the match and all that. But if you could give, before we start talking about your 03 season, if you could give the current high school seniors, juniors, freshmen, sophomores, middle schoolers, anybody that's coming into the sport or, they're gearing up for a run at the state championship, going through your experience, being there all 4 years and now being 20 years plus removed, what would you like them to know about competing in the state finals, being a state champion? What life lessons would you like to say, man, I'm so glad I learned this from wrestling, or if I had to do over again, if I could go back in time, this is what I would look forward to, kind of, because that is something that so many people miss out on, is while they're actually doing it, is how much fun it truly is.
Yep. Yeah, it absolutely is. Aside from like the wrestling and the competing and stuff like that and the different, how it forms and creates your personality as you grow up, really the biggest thing is the friendships over time. The same thing for college, right? That you get that close-knit group of friends that you have, and that's I still hang out and talk to all my friends from high school on the team. So that, I think, that's the biggest thing going through life is your network of friends and people that that's really your most valuable thing you have going through life, aside from your health. But yeah, but no, that's the biggest thing. And then, wrestling, competition wise, wrestlers are the grittiest, toughest. It's the grittiest, toughest sport out there. So, anybody that can do wrestling, just like Dan Gable said, can do anything, right?
No, so that's a fact.
Right.
One of the first videos that we done on the channel was with Chris Dunn. Of course, Chris Dunn's a three-time state champion, Woodford County, 97, 98, 99. And in his senior season, he could have probably pinned his opponent in 20 seconds. But he was out there just wrestling, just riding, cutting, getting a takedown. He was like, I just didn't want it to end. I didn't want it to be over. And so many people, they get a cut. I get it. You wrestle, you're in the room, whenever the state tournament's over with, you're just ready to be done. You want to go eat. You just want to grab, the biggest pizza or steak, whatever, just eat. But after you're out of it for a little bit and you're like, man, that was, I'm not going to say the best time of your life, but just some of the stories with your buddies and just staying up later than you should for night before meet, or just doing whatever, thinking, man, if we get caught, we're going to jail. You know what I mean? Doing some of the stuff that we pulled. But you look back on it and you're like, man, if we could just capture this, in a bottle and just have it, and it's the whole experience of just, I guess, growing up and learning about yourself, coming out on the wrestling mat. Because yes, you might be competing against somebody else, but you're wrestling against yourself. Am I going to get up and do this early morning workout? Am I going to not enjoy the family dinner? Am I going to have to go, run? Isaac Knable told a story. He was overweight. I forgot what year it was. He was out snowing, running 2 or 3 miles, whatever. And he said he fell over on the side of the road. He was just so exhausted. His mom was coming home and see somebody laying in the ditch or whatever. And she was looks over, sees it's him. Hey, get up, run back to the house.
Right,
And like,
right.
mom, you think, mom would stop help you, but mom's like, hey, get up, run back
Get
home.
up.
So it's just
Right,
so cool. And to the high schoolers watching this, no matter what grade you're in, just enjoy yourself.
right.
Just
Yeah.
the Sean
These are,
Payton has that speech on the Boys of Fall
yeah.
music video that Kenny Chesney. He was like, "You're worried about college. You're worried about starting a life, a career, a family. Enjoy these Friday nights. They don't come once they're gone. They're gone. You may get that feeling when you get married, you get your first job, your first house, your kids are born, whatever it is. But that feeling doesn't come every Friday night. It doesn't come every time you step out on the wrestling mat. And just enjoy what you have.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you have. So coming in to your senior state tournament, I've got you at 41-1.
Yeah.
Tell us about the
Who was
one.
that one? I don't know that I recall who that one was. I would assume it's probably, either GMVWA or a loss that I took in Ohio.
Okay. I just was curious if you was able to, remember what it was. Ain't no big deal. So I asked the question again. You go to whatever tournament, wherever it's at, knowing you're a two-time state champion. I'm sure you're probably the number one seed at every tournament you go to, or everybody's like, oh, I don't want to wrestle, Brad Cooper. No.
Yeah.
And the reason I asked that is knowing you're a two-timer coming into your senior year, do people guys that maybe aren't the best in the world, do they give you 1,000,000%? Like I'm trying to beat this guy so I can talk about it forever, or do they kind of just like clam up and be like, I don't want no part of this guy?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have everything to lose when you're on top, right? And not a
Yeah.
whole lot to gain. So, but yeah, I think it all depends on the personality out there. Some kids are that way, others aren't. Some kids look at it as a good shot to get up there, so they'll hit whatever move they can, and so you're going to see stuff that you typically wouldn't see out of them. So
And to that point is since we started doing the videos and we've been out and this is our starting into our third year doing it, is guys that maybe their kids are in school now or they just come back to watch wrestling meets from wherever they're at. They'll see me, recognize me from the videos here, and they'll see somebody like Bruce Stepp from Sheldon Clark, three-timer, or Joe Carr, Ian Horn, even
yeah,
back in the 80s like Dave Barnes or any of the Hoptown guys from back then. And they'll say they used to wrestle Dave Barnes. They used to wrestle whoever it may be, Bruce Stepp, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I got a takedown on Bruce Stepp," or
right,
Bruce Stepp
yeah,
never pinned me, or whatever. So it still matters, to these guys to guys all these years later that a state champion didn't pin them or they were able to get a takedown on somebody. So I'm kind of like to ask guys that question because we know how men are. We never lose that competitive drive in us.
right, yeah. You just
So
gotta. It's all relative, right? It was like my freshman year when I wrestled Davio. I wrestled him 6 times that year, and I think he pinned or teched me the first 4, and it was just a matter of getting closer and closer. So
yeah, yeah, and of course, 2003, you're a senior, 135 pounds. You start off the state tournament wrestling Bryant Barnhill from Fort Knox. You win that by a fall, 1 minute 21 seconds. You get to the second round, you're wrestling Brandon Quinlan from Oldham County. You win that by a tech fall, 16-0, and Brandon goes on to get 8th place. You get to the quarters, you're wrestling Forrest Newsom out of Sheldon Clark. You win that by a fall, 1 minute 53 seconds, and Forrest goes on to get 7th place that year. You get to the semis. You run in for the last 2 years, you've had to wrestle South Oldham guys. In 01, Mark Shaver, 02, Billy Whitehouse. You get to the semifinals here, you wrestle another South Oldham guy, Will Vanstron, and it's a 4-2 decision. A squeaker,
wow,
man.
yeah,
And of course, South Oldham that year, one of the best teams Kentucky's ever seen. They win the team championship. I forget how many. I think they medaled 13 of 14, if I'm not mistaken, that year. So that 4-2 match, man. Do you remember anything about it?
I don't. Not at all.
That's fine. Whenever I was putting that together, I thought it was a misprint, and I was like, no, that's right. So 4-2, man. You've had 2 pins and a tech fall so far, and you get to the semis. You got to pull one out. Had to pull one out. Like I said, everybody wants to beat the champ. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to knock Mike Tyson out. Everybody wants to be Buster Douglas.
Yep.
You get to the finals, and you're wrestling a Northern Kentucky foe, if you will, Bo Hines from Campbell County. And we're not going to tell you how the match ends. We have the face-off, the match, and the medal ceremony. So I have to imagine, did you and Bo wrestle in the regional finals the week before?
Yeah, I believe we did. Okay. We wrestled a few times that year.
Okay, I was going to say you guys probably mixed it up a few times. So we're going to pull up the match video here. Back at the dungeon, as we said in every single video, at the dungeon, best environment KHSAA's ever produced. So, ma'am, we've talked enough about it. Let's go. And this one has a little bit extra I like to throw in because it has the whole ceremony of the lights coming down and the glow sticks.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It was funny. Everybody kind of had like their same sections every year too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was like the original colonies. Everybody's like, nope, these are my seats.
Right.
Like you can. We'll form a militia and go after you.
Right.
They got the Ric Flair music playing. Well, you can't have a wrestling meet without the Ric Flair music. So, man, this is your last time in the finals. Win, lose, or draw. Your last time wrestling for Simon Kenton. You're backstage there in the practice area. Are you just wanting to get it over with? Are you enjoying it? You taking it in?
Yeah, I think I'm just enjoying it, taking it in. You know, you kind of back there with everybody else, and you get to talk to them a little bit. And that was a cool thing. Most of the time you knew most of them anyway because been around hitting the summer tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah. So you see them from time to time.
Do you have a lot of family and stuff in the crowd here for this?
Yeah, obviously mom and dad and Uncle Dan and Lisa, and which is Kyle Austin, Josh's parents, and then yeah, I don't know if I had a couple of other uncles there, but I imagine so.
The Jock Jams is blaring, so we know it's almost time for the introductions.
For the 2003 Kentucky High School Athletic Association State Wrestling Championship Finals. At the 135-pound weight class from Campbell County, a junior with a record of 45-6, Bo Hines. From Simon Kenton, a senior with a record of 41-85-1, Brad.
What was who did Bo wrestle to get there?
I don't have that in front of me. I just have yours. Here, while we're this is getting ready, let me pull it up real quick.
I'm wondering who he beat to get there.
Bo Hines from Campbell County will wear the green ankle band and be home.
And let's see here. Hang on. Now, as a senior, you've been here. It's your 4th straight time. Right out of the gate, you get a takedown less than 10 seconds in. You're not playing around, man.
Straight into it. Now, Bo was one of those wrestlers that he was, I think I think they may have called him Gumby or something like that. That dude was just, it was hard to like really pin him down in a situation. He was always clinging to you or moving around.
Yeah.
He was tough to hold still.
Let's see here. Bo, he beat Thomas Campbell
Mm.
in the semis and Joey Sanders in the quarters.
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
Murray in the second round and Stephen Harp in the first round.
Gotcha.
Out of bounds, out of bounds. I believe that's a young Joe Catan.
Yeah. I believe that's Jim Shaw back there, right?
It is. You're exactly right. You get another take down there, nice little duck under.
Yeah.
After coming out of that 4-2 match, was it just I got to get this over with quick as I can, or let's not play around, or?
No, I think, all my matches, I did have some pins, but most of my matches, I was always trying to go for techs instead of pins. Craig and my brother Craig and Neil, those guys were pinners. I didn't pin nearly as much as they did. I tried to get my workout in during the matches.
I know, I get it. I get it. And, like you said, Bo, they're right there with a nice little unconventional escape.
Funky.
There it is. There it is. Good. And, of course, don't feel bad for Bo here. He goes on 2004. He wins state championship, and that video's on the channel. He's a member of Campbell County's 04 state championship team. So, lift and return. Somebody's wanting Bo to have some hand control on the bottom.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll help him too much.
We were just teaching that in middle school practice last week.
Really?
Yep.
End of the first. You defer again. And he takes top. I think he's had enough of being turned and tilted and everything else. Like, let's try our luck on top here.
Ooh, good little return.
I'll say nice acrobatics. But as soon as you hit, you're supposed to turn in, get a reversal, trying to get some near fall there.
Was it 13-2?
I've lost track, man, for real. Trying for a fall here.
He's fighting good there.
Yeah. So it's 16-2.
Back at it.
And I believe that's it. You get the tech fall, second period.
Yeah.
Excellent performance, man. Just proving that you're one of the best Kentucky wrestlers to ever do it. And of course, this is the award ceremony. Yeah, Brandon Quinlan, of course, you wrestled him. Forrest, we know Forrest. Forrest is a good friend of mine. We know he's going to watch it. So Forrest, it's hope you enjoy seeing yourself there. You wrestled Will as well, I believe. He ended up coming in 6th after giving you that tough of a fight.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep.
Be an interesting one to go back and watch.
Ohio West franchise. Fourth place from Fort Campbell, Thomas Campbell.
He ended up going down to University of the Cumberlands with us.
Third place from Louisville Southern, Clifford Johnson. For 135 pounds, state runner-up from Campbell County, Bo Hunt. And your 135 pounds, state champion from Simon Kenton, Brad Reefer.
And here you go, man, making your trot to the top of the podium 3 straight times. Just a dominant performance.
I always remember those brackets. They had really cool, like old hand style or old writing for the written in there. It was really well done.
There's been several guys from that era that's, you know, brought their brackets out. And is that what is it, calligraphy? Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Now your performance is worthy of the most outstanding wrestler trophy, the award. But there was another Cooper that year that from another part of the state that you guys weren't related. Had an absolutely phenomenal performance, and he ends up winning for Scott Cooper from LaRue County. He beat Luke Metzger on when we say go back and watch the video, it's on the channel, but a last second reversal call. And it was just I think that last second reversal is what done it. That just anticipation of like, oh my God, like a buzzer beater in basketball or like a last second touchdown in football or whatever. I think that kind of pushed him over the edge. So, Scott, we know you're going to watch this. We'll send it to you. So kudos to you for that. But man, phenomenal performance. And with that, 3-time state champion, like we said earlier, 27 individual state champions, the Cooper family, 10 of the 27, 1987 team state champion, Simon Kenton, 2 most outstanding wrestlers, Dave Barnes, 1988, Casey Cornett, 2017, just phenomenal tradition, history there at Simon Kenton. And watching this one back, not as long as the other 2, but does it play out? Like, do you remember anything about this one the same way or?
Yeah, well, I'd wrestled Bo many times that year. So, I don't know that it was ever close. So it was just a matter of cranking it out. So, yeah.
I get you. No, I completely understand. And a minute ago, you mentioned, I forget which wrestler it was, went down to the University of the Cumberlands. So for those that don't know, walk us through your collegiate career, your accolades in college.
Yeah, so college down at it was Cumberland College when I went down there for the first year, but after that they changed it to University of the Cumberlands. I wrestled all 4 years. I ended up placing 3rd my freshman year. I didn't redshirt at all, and then my sophomore year, I think I was cutting a lot of weight that year. I was still at 33. So 33 my freshman year, 33 my sophomore year. I ended up losing and didn't make it to the second day of the tournament on my sophomore year. So, but then my junior and senior year, lost in the finals both times. So I think one time I lost by riding time. I think it was my first match, and then I ended up wrestling Zach Flake, which was a state champ from Ohio. He went to Campbellsville, wrestled him in the finals my senior year. So we had gone back and forth. I think maybe we had 6 matches that year, and so we split. I won 3, he won 3. He just got the most important one. So
yeah, no, and that's of course I wanted you to mention you were 3-time NAIA All-American, man. That's it's saying something, man. That's an impressive collegiate career and one of the best Kentucky high school careers ever we've ever seen. Just your way you were able to get out and get it done. So we've covered a lot of ground, all three of your videos. But before we wrap this one up, do you have anything you'd like to say or add before we put a bow on the Brad Cooper story?
Yeah. I was just glad I was able to do it in the under 140-pound weight class. My coach, Paul Kaiser, always said that all the best wrestlers are under 140 pounds.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a lie. He once stayed at 140, so he always told me that state championships don't count under 140 pounds.
I got you. Yeah. And I think his 92 videos on the channel. And I think we're going to get with Steve Kaiser and do his 94. So it's going to be get all the Kaiser guys on there. And man, just phenomenal. Like we said in your 01 video, man, we posted the video or the photo, of me and you together at the Oliver Anthony concert here in my hometown of Johnson County, and just the way it fell, man, we was able to get linked up. And as soon as I posted, everybody was like, one of the baddest dudes ever, and can't wait for these. So we know these videos are going to get a lot of views, a lot of traction, and we're glad that we were able to tell all three of your stories, all three of your match videos, man. It just wouldn't have been the same without all three. So I'm glad we were able to get all three. Thanks for finding your 01 tape. And, I'm thankful. Thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Alex,
had a lot of star power. We don't get many movie stars on the channel.
Take a break from Hollywood to do this for you.
Yeah,
Alex.
man.
No, I appreciate you putting this together. We talked earlier about one of the other videos about how far Kentucky wrestling has come, and I think what you're doing, kind of promoting a lot of the past state champs. I think that's only going to help it out more. So, you're doing a lot for the state already.
Well, thank you, man. And we as it is of this filming, Kentucky high school wrestling is the most accessible, the most viewed, the most any type of algorithm on YouTube that you want to look at. Now, of course, the 20 or the 5-second TikToks of people breaking backboards or highlight football runs or whatever, of course, those are going to get more views. But when it comes to documenting the history, when it comes to being able to tell the individual stories, there's not another channel, there's not another series on the entire internet that can match what we're doing. And it's Kentucky high school wrestling. It's not any other state. It's not, we know another sport, and Kentucky's king. And if you play basketball, I love to watch basketball. I love anything that keeps kids active. Not everybody's going to be a wrestler. Not everybody's going to be a football player. Not everybody's going to be a basketball player. If it keeps kids active and keeps them into something without getting into a life of, whatever it may be that doesn't involve positive influences, I'm for it. But Kentucky high school wrestling, we're the king right now.
That's right.
We're the king. We're the Brad Coopers of YouTube sports. Kentucky high school wrestling. So, man, again, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to get these edited, put them on the channel, let the world see just how bad Brad Cooper was and how good his acting is. So, man,
one last thing, we do have I want to do a shout out challenge to Braden Blevins. He won his freshman year. So Simon Kenton doesn't have a 4-timer. We have a couple 3-timers, but we don't have a 4-timer. So it's a challenge for him to go ahead and finish us off with 4.
And of course, Braden's first state championships on the video. And we told him when we were wrapping it up like this, when we said, man, if you win 3, we'll do 3 more with you. So, Braden, we know you and your dad's going to watch this. So, man, put in the comments, challenge accepted. And you can knock Brad and Kevin off the pedestal, man. You could be the man.
Absolutely.
Put a bronze statue up of you in front of the school there.
That's right.
Brad, man, thank you for doing this. I greatly appreciate it. Guys, that's all we have. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the mats.